Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to back. Welcome back.
Welcome to back.
Welcome back to Off the Rails. I'm Aisha, probably with Eric Jenkins, and we're coming at you from Sunday morning at 8:20 a.m. my time, 10 something a.m. Eric's time.
Yeah, and for all the listeners, Aisha's in a bathrobe. Just caught her fresh out of bed. How was your night? Tell me a little bit about your night. Tell me about your weekend. It looks like you've had a lot of fun, and give me the Spark Notes rundown on it.
Sure. So this weekend is getting out of hand for a 1-year-old's birthday party. That is the premise of the weekend. It is a good friend who is actually racing Kona World Championships in the full Ironman.
Wow.
Next weekend, her daughter turns 1 on Monday. And it has been the catalyst for other friends to come into town. And this is the Jefferson family. Oh gosh, one of the twins flew in. The Jefferson twin flew in on Thursday night after work. I went to the Boulder Muni Airport to pick up Nick Simmons, who flew his plane to Boulder. And it's one of those situations, and my college friend is here. We've all had, multiple trips together. And what happens when you get all the boys back together is you regress to
the boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town, and you take yourself back to a younger time that you don't necessarily have what it takes to handle. So last night I got to bed around 2-ish a.m., which is a lot later than my 9:30.
Yeah, that's a night.
Yeah, that's a night.
Aisha brought beer was in full effect.
Aisha brought beer was in full effect. And, I try to have a rule that I don't go anywhere where there are stages, because if there's like a stage, then I start to kind of act a fool. And, we ended up, I was on a stage dancing. We really took it. I mean, singing, it was more of like a DJ situation.
Okay.
But, yeah. So had a couple of margs and just let it rip. I texted you at an ungodly hour to push this back 15 minutes.
You did, but it wasn't quite as simple as just, hey, can we push it back 15 minutes? It was quite a text, and I woke up, looked at my phone, and I was like, I mean, I got the gist of it. I saw that you needed 15 extra minutes, which I also love that you're like, I need 15 minutes more of sleep. You're like, this'll do it. At 2 a.m., you're like, you know what? I can't do the 10 a.m. I can't do the hard 8 a.m. call. I will need 15 extra minutes of sleep.
And that's going to take care of all of my troubles. I'm looking at the text right now. I sent you a text at 4:19 a.m. I said, rolling over in the night. That's all good. I need an extra 15 min for sight in the amp.
Yeah. Now, my first read through, I just go, okay, yeah, she just needs 15 extra minutes. That's fine. But then I was like, wait, because it started off with it's rolling back or something rolling. So I was like, is it something like the clocks got moved back? I was like, is it daylight savings or something? And she needs 15 extra minutes. I was like, okay. And then I actually looked it up. I was like, no, it's not. Oh, no. And then there was so each read through, there was something more I was picking up from the text, but I did understand 15 extra minutes, and you got it. And you got the robe on. You got the Oakley bathrobe on.
I had the Oakley bathrobe on from a ski snowboard weekend this last winter. I've got some Beekeeper,
Beekeeper,
and
baby.
this is going to save my day. I am drinking some Beekeeper with Tracktown honey. Use code CITIUS25 at checkout
Absolutely.
at beekeeper.com or Amazon or wherever you buy your Beekeeper. And this too shall pass with some Beekeeper coffee.
Yeah, the Beekeeper coffee is coming in clutch and reversing the margs that the 2 a.m. margaritas.
It's great. Just a couple hours of sleep, a Beekeeper coffee, and you're good to go. I think perhaps we're going to be jumping on bikes and cycling. I'm not sure if that's still the plan before this 1 p.m. birthday party for a 1-year-old. I just
Oh, so the birthday party hasn't even started yet.
no.
You guys are
No.
pre-gaming for the birthday party.
We've been pre-gaming for days for the birthday party. Yeah.
The 1-year-old's like, guys, let's not blow your load on the pregame because my birthday's Sunday afternoon, and it seems like you guys are all partied out.
Seems like you guys aren't taking this seriously
The
enough.
1-year-old's like, okay, it's like shots, margaritas, and everyone else is like, no, God, no. Aisha brought beer, put me in a coffin last night.
Yeah, Aisha brought beer, went feral last night. So, sorry.
The 1-year-old's like, you guys know she can't be on a stage. Don't bring her to a place with a stage. She's going to be out of control. And they're like, look, the Jeffersons are like, we tried. God damn it, we tried. But she's got a stage radar, and she was the one picking the places to go to. We couldn't help it.
We're not from here. Why did she take us there?
Yeah,
we knew.
Well, how do I know
it was going to happen? Yeah. Yeah. So that's where we are. And
so what is the plan for the 1-year-old's birthday party?
It's so she's half British. It's a tea party.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know she was half British. I would have immediately been, okay, tea party.
So it's obviously a tea party. Yeah.
A tea party, of course. Well, of course.
Yeah. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very cute. Their families here. So we're gonna get our coffees down. We're gonna sweat it out a little bit, and then we will be presentable and ready for a birthday party.
How long's the bike ride?
I think we're gonna ride not very far, like 25 miles.
Okay, a hilly bouldery 25 miles.
A hilly bouldery 25 miles. I don't think I informed you of this, but I did go over the handlebars 2 weeks ago.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm totally fine. It was way more embarrassing than anything. So one of the Jeffersons is going to fix Will is going to fix my front tire. This was while everyone was in Tokyo. It was a blue job. I can't fix the tire. I don't know how. But I was coming in from a ride and was completely bonking and I was unclipping, hit a pothole. So I wasn't going very fast. And I rode into the grass. Like there was grass nearby. And I was like, if I'm going to go down, at least let me go down in the grass. And as I was like kind of trying to sort it out, there was a fire hydrant. So I hit the brakes really hard so that I wouldn't hit the fire hydrant. And then I flipped over the handlebars.
Jesus.
So then the story gets worse. That was all fine. I really was just embarrassed. I was so glad I was alone because if someone saw that, I'm like dead on arrival. Like I will never be seen in this town again.
Of course.
So I had to walk home and I was so close to home. I was like, I don't know, a mile away from home. So I walk home in my stupid click-clack shoes and all I want is a snack. And I get to my driveway and there is a freaking bear in my driveway. And I am so out of it that I like walk in the driveway. I'm like, what are you doing in here? Like, and I then it starts, starts walking toward me and I'm like, oh, fuck, like this is a bear. Like this thing could kill me. So then I had to, I like slowly walked backward, slowly. And it's like wiggling its big fat butt toward me. And I had to back out of the driveway and go to my neighbor's. Like I like went to my neighbor's yard and like backed like up against their house. And he walked all the way out of my driveway, kind of walked toward me and then changed his mind and went up the road.
Is this a brown bear or a black bear?
They're the ones that aren't super scary.
Okay, so probably a black bear.
Yeah, a black
But
bear.
that's still
Yeah.
that's great. Wait, so you were initially were so first off, you and the bear were both had probably snacks on the mind.
Yes.
You were thinking more of like a granola bar, and he was thinking Aisha will do.
Yeah, yeah. That looks like a fine piece of beef jerky.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh my God. He's like, this is perfect. Wait, it sounds like you weren't initially that scared of it. Like you were like, I'm going to try and get in the house through this
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah, I was a little out of it.
Okay.
Here's I don't know if you can see this, but there it is.
Oh yeah. Okay. So is that the closest you got, or were you closer than
That was
that?
after I
You,
backed off.
okay. Aisha, this
Yeah.
is incredibly dangerous.
Yes. Let me also just walk it back. There are so many bears that have been in our neighborhood and sort of like around this North Boulder area. I've been in a battle with this guy for weeks.
Oh, you know
He's
this bear.
he's attacking us. He's going to our garbage cans. We're waking up in the morning and we have bear bins and the bear bins are upside down and scratched at. We had to start moving our bins into the garage. It's like I've been in battle with this guy for weeks. So
Okay.
he's a known enemy. And I was just really not that happy to see him. I was like, come on, man. Like I just really want a snack.
A 1 mile walk back isn't that short of a walk either.
When you are up
You're,
against the ropes.
and you've got in your
Yeah.
bike, you're in your bike shoes
Yes.
and you're walking your bike alongside you.
Yes. The
And you
walk
just
of shame.
crashed and you crashed.
And I had crashed and my front tire was flat. And luckily only saw one person and it was one of my neighbors. And he's at the end of the street and asked if I need like a pump or something. And I was like, oh, thanks. I'm almost home. Trying to hold it together. Little did I know there was a bear in my driveway.
Did you
I could have used
cry?
some help. No,
No. Wow. Very brave.
thank you.
Very brave. So, okay. So was that your last ride?
Yeah, so that was my last ride. So now I'm going to
Okay.
get back in the saddle.
Yeah. You got to get
Um,
back out there.
I got to get back out there. I got to prove to myself that I can do this. And up until that point, I was having one of my best rides ever. I was really feeling myself. And then I ran out of gas. I'm going to bring extra snacks
Good.
and it's going to be great.
You should, now I don't want to keep harping on this, but at some point you should hydrate, more than, than our lovely Beekeeper coffee sponsor, but, a glass of water would do absolute wonders for the body, especially, post margarita night, pre 1-year-old's birthday party. You need it.
Right.
You need to bounce back. You need a pretty big day to bounce back.
I do. I had made an electrolyte drink. I left it upstairs.
Mm.
I'm sure at this point my guests are awake.
Yeah.
Due to the sound of my voice echoing next door to them. Yeah, they're probably like, Aisha had ruined our weekend. She made us dance until 2:00 in the morning. And then she got on a stupid podcast and is cackling in a room, waking us up at 8:00 in the morning.
They're like, I guess also we have to be up for the podcast too.
They're like, I guess we're on the podcast.
Hmm.
It is interesting though. I was talking to Nick about his Everest summit and
Nick Simmons.
He said that Nick Simmons, only human being on the planet to run sub 4 and
the one and only.
and
Absolute
summit Everest.
Legend of the game.
Legend of the game. And he said that Chris reached out to him to do an interview after he got back from Everest, but he is
One
on
of our overlord.
Our overlord. But he said he's on a self-inflicted media blackout. I don't really know. Like he's just now just wants to be a regular citizen, but I suspect that won't last forever. But
it can't. So he's not on. He has no social media on his phone.
He won't appear.
He won't appear. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still. Was he scrolling at all yesterday? You see him scrolling? You see him
I don't see him scrolling at all. Like
Good for him.
Yeah, he's just chatting. I'm looking to see when's the last time he posted. Yeah, I would think if we would ever have a guest, like that would be a great guest.
He'd be a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah. May 15th was his last. He accepted a collab tag with CITIUS Mag.
That was his last one.
Mm-hmm.
What was it
Mm-hmm.
about? Was it Everest?
Everest, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
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 So did he? Well, what do you have to say about Everest?
He said it was
Passed a lot of
wild.
dead bodies.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was telling us we went on a hike yesterday morning, and he was telling us about he like demonstrated there's a frozen body that he died in the 90s. And what's so crazy is that they're basically like deep frozen and it doesn't thaw. So there's really no decay. And there's one part of the hike that he demonstrated where on your way to the summit, you have to go over, they say, yeah, you'll have to climb over green boots. And he's like, oh, I'm not quite sure what that is. It's like, okay. And it is just a frozen guy, like perfectly intact from that has been there from the 90s. And he's just like part of the topography now. It's like this frozen body.
He's like a
But
marker on the trail.
yeah, a marker on the trail. So that like gives a little taste of how wild it was and more dangerous than I could have quantified. I know people say like, oh yeah, it's dangerous, but it was really interesting hearing the tale of the summit. But we'll hopefully he can enlighten all of us in the running community at some point with
Yeah,
his
well, I
stories.
imagine on your guys' hike, you probably passed a lot less dead bodies.
Yeah, he had to demonstrate with a like nice stump that
Yeah.
was from a tree.
He's like, now imagine this was a dead body from 1994.
Yeah, that's how it went. And then you
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
step over it. Yeah.
yeah,
You're like, whoa, crazy.
yeah. That's amazing. He really took
What's
over the YouTube game for a while, racing every high schooler under the sun, all the
it
fame and
was
fortune, and now he just needed to take a little break.
just need to take a little break. But it was funny at the bar last night. Like his target audience from that era is like now in college. So
Yeah,
there were some conversations of like, I love your YouTube, man. Not like, oh, congrats on an amazing running career. It's like what the conversations were, like the shoulder taps were about YouTube.
yeah. No, I mean that's life, baby. Just everything keeps on going. Nobody really remembers They want Cole Hawker. They're not thinking about Nick Simmons as far as track and field goes anymore. But
No,
YouTube's forever.
of YouTube fame. YouTube's
Yeah,
forever. Yeah.
really
How's
fun.
your weekend?
I guess not as exciting as yours, but still lots of fun. I think it's a beautiful weekend over here. 80 degrees, sunny. I think it might be the last really summery weekend. So it could be, I think, I don't want to speak too soon, but it could be a beach day today.
Ooh.
Yep. So, lots of fun things going on in the horizon. I don't know if I'll do nearly as many margaritas or dancing as you, but still fun nonetheless.
Do you, I mean, I think this is the third time in 9 years I've gone to this bar in Boulder and danced. Like, this is
Mhm.
not a regular occurrence for me. Is this, like, do you have like a spot on Seacoast, New Hampshire that you hit up? Do you have like a local place with a stage where you're dancing and
No,
causing
I don't
wreaking
know if you.
havoc?
Yes, there's lots of places to wreak havoc around here. There's no shortage of havoc wreaking areas. But I don't think you can get onto a stage necessarily. It's all one level.
Okay.
Um,
This is safe. This is a safe place.
this is a safe place. Yeah, so I don't know if there's necessarily you would have to. I mean, I'm sure you would sniff it out, but there's not a lot of stage opportunities unless you're actually going to perform something.
Okay.
But again, lots of places you can wreak havoc and shake your ass if you want to.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Speaking of a stage, I feel like there's so much music and entertainment news this last week.
Okay. Do tell me.
Well, haven't you seen, first of all, um, Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl.
I did
And
see this.
are you going to get into it now?
Okay, okay. I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be a hater.
good.
Um, Super Bowl, I mean, it's as big as it gets. A lot of scrutiny, a lot of eyes. So he's going to need to bring it on the biggest
He just,
stage in the world.
a lot of pressure.
A
He
lot
just
of
hosted
pressure.
SNL, which was great.
Yep.
Just saw a clip from that this morning. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Anytime I heard Bad Bunny last night, I would just turn the dial up a little more. I'm excited.
You were in control of the volume?
No, of my body,
Oh, oh,
of the way
okay.
I was
Oh, okay.
moving. Yeah.
It was like you really were in your fucking bag last night. Jesus. New Taylor Swift album. Are
Yeah,
you
have
a
you listened to
Swiftie?
it? Not really. I it from what I've seen, I feel happy that maybe she's had more experiences that I can relate to. I just didn't necessarily find her music that relatable in
What
the past.
what
I liked the Reputation album.
uh,
Um I liked the Lover album. So I didn't listen to Taylor Swift at all until I moved to Boulder. And then being in like a predominantly women's group, there's a lot of Taylor Swift that went on.
yeah.
And yeah, I just like I couldn't really relate to like the um
What was she saying? What's
awkward.
she saying that's so unrelatable?
Well, I'm just like the I don't know, like I don't really relate to like the
She's white?
um no, I
I
listen to
know, I
I listen
know.
to other things, but like it is just um like the awkward girl um kind of like pining after people. That's
Yeah.
just like not my thing. So any albums that that weren't like that, I liked. And it seems like now as you just said, like more, she's in her bag. Like she's
Yeah.
got a guy that's making her happy in many ways. And
Uh-huh.
so I think maybe I would like it more.
Okay. I mean, I imagine that Chris will edit this whole thing out because he is a huge Swiftie.
I mean, I respect the hell out of her. Like she's like clearly one of
You don't need
the
to do damage control. You didn't
I
say
don't need to
anything.
do damage
You
control.
didn't say anything bad.
I respect her, but I just prefer other. I prefer like if we're gonna go sway to an indie album, like I prefer more of an indie artist. If we're gonna go to a clubby album, I prefer more of a clubby artist. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just
It's okay.
yeah, I don't dislike her. I'm just not
You're just
like
not
a
crazy
big
about her.
Swiftie. I'm
It's
just
totally
not crazy
fine.
about her. Yeah.
I'm
What about
kind
you?
of I'm in the same boat. I like a lot of her stuff, but I'm not gonna like share her posts on my Instagram story.
Right. Right.
And so yeah, I'm not the fan. She has an unbelievable fandom and fan base. And if we were to say really negative things, they could come after us and really cut our heads off and really stop
Completely.
all the progress we've made on the Off the Rails podcast. So we do need to watch our mouths and we need to dance around the subject delicately. Because even our own overlords, Chris, is as big of a
He's gonna rip
Swiftie as
us
they
off the
come.
air.
He's going to rip us off the air. So yeah, I'm not I'm not a Swiftie by any means, but I do like a lot of her music. Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy for the Swifties. Really happy for the Swifties.
She hasn't performed the Super Bowl, right?
No.
No.
No. And there was a rumor that, oh, maybe she'll do it this year because of Travis, blah, blah, blah. But I kind of like that she's not. Like let him have his moment and you do your thing.
Yeah, he's probably only got a few more years in the NFL anyway.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Who cares?
Yeah. Like I don't really know his futures in the NFL. I need to play fantasy so that I can watch the games that aren't the Green Bay Packers. I watch the Packers games and then I don't really watch anything else.
Oh, so you're a Packers girl.
Mm-hmm.
They're not bad this year.
They're very good this year.
Yeah. I'm not like I'm not like one of those guys who's like glued to the TV on Sunday. So I don't. I follow the New England Patriots, and that's kind of about it. But
Whoa, are you following this Bill Belichick thing?
yeah, he fucking sucks.
This is insane.
It's this is another great. I'm glad you bring this up. Okay, because this is a classic case, in my opinion, of like what the fuck are guys doing. He has ruined his, and now I'm a New England guy, so Bill Belichick is, he is goated in the New England community. And now he brings it. I think he's over 70 years old, right? Now gets a new 24-year-old girlfriend, however old she is, early 20s, mid 20s, and is kind of tossed a lot of his reputation away and his credibility by like letting her call the shots on the football field. And you're like, dude, what are you thinking, man? What is going on here? And he's absolutely sucking it up at UNC this year. And there's a part of me that's like, I'd love to see him succeed, but I'm like, not when you're doing. The old Belichick would have never let this happen.
He would never.
He wouldn't even he didn't do interviews. He didn't give shit to the media. He wasn't like that. He was like known for being the no nonsense, I'm not fucking around, this is like my way or the highway type of football program. And now he's got his girl basically running the show, and it makes no sense. And you're like, dude, I imagine if this year, I mean, he's getting blown out in a lot of these games. I think they're 2-3, so it's not like they've lost all their games, but on the games they're losing bad. Empty stadium for the most part yesterday, and I imagine he'll get fired. And you'd hate. I don't want to see him go out like this, but at the end of the day, you're like, bro, you got to get your shit together, man.
You got to get it together.
You got to stop. I'm like, it's like, dude, you can't. He's thinking with his dick over here.
Men are so stupid.
Dude, guys are so awesome, man. They're so fucking awesome. It's nuts.
It's nuts. It's so nuts. And the edits of her like stomping down and in like this cute little outfit and like running the show. Like this is such evidence for like women could and should just probably run the world. Like there is something that we could do to take over.
Well, I mean, I think she has taken over the UNC football program for the most part. She's kind of tanking it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if she should take over the team, but she's certainly taken over Bill's head, both of them, and then as now basically in charge of UNC football. And I think she's in over her head, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but it could be a blueprint to overthrow some empires.
Of course. But this isn't a new trick.
This isn't new.
They're like, what are guys powerless over? And they're like, oh, I can do that. This is easy.
No problem.
No problem. So yeah.
But we are safe. Right now we're safe from getting thrown off the air because the federal government's shut down.
Huge.
So at least we're safe from one overlord disbanding us from the airwaves if we say anything wrong.
If Trump tried to kick us off the air, it would be the absolute best thing for our podcast. Can you imagine how the text that we would get from Mac and Chris saying that they've been contacted by Trump's team? They'd be like a pig in shit. That's when you know we've made it big. When Trump tries to kick us off the air, and then we end up having. Can you imagine the listener count on the return episode? Through the fucking roof.
Through the roof. I would try to not have too many margaritas the night before that one.
Yeah, I would be like, hey, would you mind actually getting some sleep tonight, because we have our return to air podcast coming up, and it's going to be pretty big for us.
Yeah, that would be a bit. That would be big.
Did anything really happen in the track and field world this week?
No.
A couple things. I mean, there was a few like juicy stories, not juicy, like the British coach got.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. So
that's pretty wild.
Why am I blanking on his name? This is Laura Muir and Gemma Reeke's coach.
Old coach, yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably get his name so that we can name him on air and not let him off the hook in that way.
Yeah.
But
I'm picturing him. He would always, I knew this guy was trouble because he would always be drinking a soda at like 7:30 in the morning at a championship. Andy Young.
Okay.
Andy
Young. In addition to all of his other heinous acts, he was drinking a full sugar Coca-Cola at 7:30 in the morning, and that's when I knew.
Yeah.
This guy's up to trouble.
That's a first red flag. Drink a coffee like an adult. This is crazy. So he gets banned, and I've always respected Laura Muir as an athlete, but this is very commendable. Laura Muir waives her right to anonymity. Her coach gets banned for serious misconduct. The original, I think was it a 5-year ban that got reduced to a 3-year ban? I wish it was 5 years.
It's such a slap on the wrist.
It's such a slap on the wrist. So his charges are ignoring athlete welfare on multiple occasions, putting performance ahead of safety, forcing athletes to compete when they're hurt, against physiotherapist advice, manipulative and coercive behavior, threatening athletes that like you're not going to be able to train or race if you don't do what I say, undermining them emotionally. If they say like, hey, I feel hurt, it's like playing some sort of mind game that no, you don't. And then some nutrition interference, giving dietary instructions without qualifications. I'm like, this sounds familiar.
He's like, more soda. Guys giving dietary instructions.
Yeah. And then this is really crazy. So there's a serious incident where he was driving recklessly with an athlete after a disagreement and then abandoned them on the side of the road.
Yeah, crazy. Absolutely insane move.
What's really crazy, so the ban is backdated to April of 2023, and he can return to coaching in April of 2026. He had to like take some courses or something to learn how to not be a total piece of shit. But I don't like, this is, to me, feels a bit like a slap on the wrist. And I am so impressed with Laura Muir for coming out and saying that, hey, this is like, I'm not going to be anonymous here. Like this, I'm part of this. Like this is not okay.
No, I think it's great for her that she's not being on, and I think it means so much more that she's actually putting her name on it, right? Where it's like, it's not just some anonymous claim. It's Laura Muir, one of the best athletes in the UK. I think it does mean so much more. And by putting her name on it, being brave enough to do it, carries a lot of weight and goes so much farther because she's doing that. So nothing but respect and admiration for doing that. It is a shame that it's such a short sentence. He's already done. He's already, because it was backdated, has already served like a decent amount of it. And it's not right. It's definitely not right. The lack of, to be in a fight with one of your athletes and just drop them off on the side of the road shows like not just like an immaturity, but like you're a dangerous dude who has no control over their emotions, and you're not in charge, but you have that coach athlete relationship. We've talked about it a lot, but it's a special one. And it's like when you're abusing that power over athletes that have really put their trust in you emotionally, with their career and their passion. It's such a betrayal to do shit like that. So it's sad that it's such a short slap on the wrist type of sentence.
Also, that in particular, like all of the claims to me just scream like dehumanizing.
Yeah.
Your athletes are athletes, sure, but they're people first, and their bodies matter, their minds matter, their self-esteem matters, their emotional well-being matters. And it just seemed so unbelievably abusive and manipulative to like to go to someone exactly as you say, like this is such a special and a privileged relationship where you're putting everything in someone's hands, and if you go to them with a concern to be manipulated and told that like this isn't serious, or um you have to race on a hurt body, like this is like deep damage, not just physically. And I can't imagine getting left off the side of the road by someone like that. Is so sad to think about, to like put yourself in that athlete's shoes, or like, if this was your friend or your training partner that happened to, like that's horrible. It makes me feel really sad that athletes had this experience. And it's so hard when you're at the top of sport, when you think about uh Gabriella Stafford also trained with this coach, and Laura Muir, Gemma Ricci, a bunch of athletes that are at the top of their game. And you had made this comment last week about how hot the M11 track club is with Keeley, with Georgia, and athletes are going to want to flock there. And I'm sure it was really similar with Andy Young, of here are athletes that are dominating on the world stage, and that attracts more athletes and attracts
Yeah,
more athletes. And then this behavior gets normalized. This behavior gets okayed, because an athlete could think, oh, maybe this is just normal at the top, and like that shit is not normal, and that is unacceptable. And in no way is this the standard that needs to, like, this is a standard that we won't uphold. So highly commend Laura Muir for saying no, like enough is enough. And seeing her step into a new coach, she's being coached, I believe, by Laura Waitman, which is incredible. I'm not sure if it's Laura Waitman and Steve Cram, or just Laura Waitman, but finding love of the sport again. I mean, this could just ruin it. Like behavior like this not only ruins the present moment, but also can put a stain on the future of how you feel about running. And what's so amazing about running is it's a lifelong sport. We're washed up and we're still out there running every week, and it could put a tar and a stain on something that is a deep and true love, and that just makes me very, very sad. I think that this guy needs a longer ban.
for sure. It definitely needs a longer ban. And these are like the dropping off on the side of the road after an argument. Those are you can only imagine the type of psychological manipulation that was going on that doesn't make the news report, right? Just like the day in, day out type of backhanded manipulation stuff, when he's disappointed in you, when a workout or a race or any type of performance isn't up to the standards, like there's little ways to get in an athlete's head. And you have to
Right.
imagine if this is the guy that's you get into an argument with him and he's dropping you off on the side of the road, you can imagine the type of stuff that was going on a day-to-day basis. So, and also it takes a lot to speak up in these situations, right? Like when you feel like something's going wrong in your training and you look up to your coach, it can be tough to find the voice and find the strength to say something in the first place and be like, hey, look, maybe I have a disagreement on something, whether it's a race or a workouts or how training's going, just to be able to find your voice and is takes a lot of strength. And then to immediately, I'm sure, get slapped down and dropped off on the side of the road after things like that. It's so ugly, so wrong. And I'm glad that's coming to light and he gets some sort of ban. And hopefully when he is able to coach again, that he doesn't have an elite training group and people aren't necessarily like choosing him. But yeah, it's a crazy story, and good on Laura Muir for speaking out. Gemma Ricci was the same. Like, was Gemma Ricci put her name on it? So good on them for doing something about it.
Yeah, it's I I hate that victims are usually not believed in a lot of cases, and I feel sad that they um that they went through this. But I do, unfortunately, when someone's not believed, or a band like this comes out, I think the sentiment is like, oh, it probably wasn't that bad, or, we don't know, or like such and such athlete trained with them, and they didn't say anything. But for them to sort of selflessly put their names on it, I think really does underline the severity. Um, shouldn't have to be like that, right? Like, it should, it doesn't matter if you have a big name in the sport. No one deserves to be treated poorly. Everyone deserves to have a safe place to enjoy sport and to practice. And like, you should have a safe work environment, but there's no HR in track and field. It's like,
Yeah.
there's no one to report the minor offenses. So I guess there is, but these types of situations are really hard and really trying and really taxing. And we saw it with Jakob Ingebrigtsen this year as well, of reporting abuse and what that does. That takes a toll on the body. I'm sure Jakob Ingebrigtsen was hurt all year, and you have to think, like, all of this takes a toll. Your body has to balance
Your
the
body keeps the
psychological
score.
stress. Your body keeps a score, and that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to train at a really high level. It's an even harder thing to be in a toxic environment. Even harder than that is to report it and to stand up and say, like, this is not okay. So kudos.
Yeah, that's an interesting, like, there really isn't in these types of training groups, there isn't really someone to report it to. Like, the only way, because there isn't some sort of group where, like, if you see somebody doping, you can talk to USADA. You can talk to what there are people to report it to if you were going to do it. But with these more relationship coaching things where there should be some sort of athlete HR, like, who do you report it to? Let's say, like,
So in the US, you report it to Safe Sport.
okay.
Safe Sport. Yeah, in the US, you can report a concern at uscenterforsafesport.org. There's a link to click, and you can report anonymously or not. And then and they're really good at handling these. And then the AIU internationally, and one of the big pushes from World Athletics is safeguarding and trying to establish national sort of clones of safe sport from the US and other countries. But the AIU, you can report misconduct on their website as well, which is athletics.integrity.org. They have a make a report link as well. So if you're listening to this and you've had a similar experience, like that, those are resources that you can go to, whether you're in the US or abroad, and make a report. But it isn't as black and white as someone test positive for EPO in their band. And it is hard. It's a hard thing to have to go through, to have to report, to have to tell your story again, and report abuses is really challenging. So I also hope that these women, or Jakob Ingebrigtsen, or any of these people who have been through hard things, are also, like, getting the psychological support they need, because there's damage. There's always collateral damage.
Yeah, I wonder, when you report it to, like, Safe Sport, you report it to the AIU, what the, like, are they? Is it just like an immediate investigation? Is somebody contacting that's in, like, the Andy Young of the situation, and because it's so tough to get these things actually have the to get him banned, because at some point it's kind of like a my story versus your story, who do you believe kind of situation that I imagine gets really ugly at certain points. So it does take multiple athletes coming together, like this Andy Young situation with Team Great Britain, to actually make a difference and get the results.
Definitely. Definitely.
Um, Another thing, did you see? I think Chris tweeted about it, but it was these things about these Kenyan time trials that were set up specifically for college coaches to come recruiting.
So this is like the NFL Combine, but like for Kenyan athletes.
Yes, in the specific intention of we will recruit the people that that we like from these time trials.
Whoa. I actually didn't see this.
You didn't
No.
see this, yeah?
No.
Which and it's such an it's because there's something bizarre about it. It's like obviously you want the best athletes in the NCAA, and you want to give these athletes in Kenya a chance to compete in the NCAA if they want, get go to college, get an education, do all these amazing things. But the idea that you're setting up these time trials and races with like the goal of, yeah, you do well here, you can go to college, or you can go compete in America in the NCAA. I don't
It
know. I
kind of
think
feels
there's,
icky. It feels icky.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all, really. I mean, it's one thing to go to Kenya and pick out and see, do the scouting over there like you would scout in high school cross country meet or something like that. But setting up the time trials with the carrot on the stick of a scholarship in the NCAA,
That
it
doesn't feel right. That doesn't
it
feel
doesn't
right.
feel right. And yeah, it's bizarre.
Look, my college team was really international. We had a lot of Caribbean athletes on my team, and I I know that this in some circles is an unpopular opinion, but I think having international teams is wonderful. I think being exposed to different cultures and different ways of life and different thought processes and different forms of discipline, it made me a better athlete. It made me a better person. I loved being on OTC Elite, which was super international with a bunch of athletes from different countries. We had Ethiopia, Kenya, Great Britain, Ireland, US, Canada, me from in Jamaica, and then people who grew up in Somalia and compete for the US, and like different, so many different people all going for the same goals. And as we talked about last week, like that is a wonderful thing when you're standing on the starting line of a race and you have nothing in common with these people, but you know them deeply by their desire that is mirrored in you. And i think I think having different perspectives is wonderful, but there is that on one hand, and then there is a win at all costs mentality
Yeah, for sure.
that is sitting on the other side. And this doesn't feel right. This like, I don't know, I get an icky feeling about it of why aren't we incentivizing like you said, like building relationships with people who you enjoy their style of racing and you see something in them, and they're high school students. And I guess my biggest sticking point with the way the NCAA is going for me is age. And I know this is like a thing with the BYU athletes as well. Like I if I were to put any limits on the NCAA, I think it should be age of, like, this is such a development system, or in the past it's been such a development system, and it doesn't make sense to go like pluck professional athletes from other countries with this like kind of gross, icky carrot on a stick of like, you know this like savior mentality of like, come over here, we got something for you. It's like, no, that's not the point. That's not the point of this. It's to create environments where people can grow and become the best versions of themselves, get an education. And most people don't go pro. You run in college, and it's a wonderful experience, and you build these relationships and you learn all these lessons, and then you go move on with your life and you become a professional in the world. And this feels different. I don't really like it. I don't it doesn't make sense to me to have people that are 26, 27 years old competing against teenagers. Like I don't really like that.
And it's just not, because everybody, like American born athletes will get better with better talent around them. Like I'm the clear example of that. Like my college career jumped up another level by being able to get the opportunity to race and train against Ed Cheserek, greatest track and field NCAA athlete of all time. And so I am somebody who like benefited from a Kenyan born athlete coming in and doing great jobs in the NCAA. But like, there's got to be some sort of limit, I would imagine, on how many international is there no limits on how many international athletes a team can have? If you're a head coach and your whole job is incentive based on, okay, you need to go, I'm a cross country coach, I need to win my conference championship, and there's nothing that says, hey, I can go recruit my top 7 guys from Kenya and Ethiopia. It's like, you're going to
There's
see
no
that.
limit.
So there's no,
There's no
okay.
limit.
So you probably are going to see that. If your whole job is based on performance, right? And it's okay, I can go recruit these guys, and maybe I don't even, because if you come from these smaller programs where you're going to lose out the best talent to the big programs, to the NAUs, to the Oregons, to the Washingtons, all these schools that get the best athletes. But I'm like, okay, I can go to Ethiopia and I can go to Kenya and I can go to these countries where all of the athletes are unbelievably talented, and I can immediately have one of the best programs in the country if I wanted to go that route. So there should be some way, because we're going to need to start DEI hiring American athletes. I'm like, okay, you can have the internationals, but you got to have a few white guys on your team if you want to compete. You got to DEI hire the whites to get them back on the program and to get them involved. It's because it's just a bizarre
It is
practice
bizarre.
to do.
It's bizarre. And the next step to this is, if you're not performing it, then you're gone. And then there's how many people lining up to take your spot. So it's not, this just becomes like, yeah, you're just essentially hiring athletes to then, if you're hurt, if you're whatever, like you just then dispose of an athlete. Like people just become a number and they're not a human being. And that's not the point of college sport. Like that's just not the point. And that, to me, that also then just like feels dangerous and like opens up for exploitation of people when it's a win at all costs, when it's just give me the next fastest guy. I don't care. I just need the next fastest. It opens up the door for exploitation. It opens up the door for drugs. It opens up the door for desperation, and that's not what we want. We want to take athletes, give them a chance, develop them fully, let them like see how good they can be, and give them 4 years. Like that's,
Yeah.
to me, that's the point. And maybe I'm a geezer, maybe the point has changed and like the world is moving on. I think about, Will and I talk about this of like, okay, imagine you're a kid in high school. You the joy of going out and being Eric Jenkins and setting traps on your cross country course. Like you can't be a kid anymore. Like you can't you can't enjoy your high school experience, you can't enjoy your college experience. I love that the level is so high, and it's so fun, and I love seeing these wild and great performances, but we've just professionalized college, which trickles down into high school, and professionalized high school. And I don't think that's healthy. I understand performance is performance, and you can get the best out of yourself when you're younger or whatever, but I to me, I just don't think that's the point. I would not enjoy being a 17-year-old right now training and acting as a professional in high school, and then you go to college and are a professional. Like I I'm having a hard time accepting that this is the current situation and the future.
It's the NIL really changed that, because I mean, they are actually professionals. Like
Right.
they are making money. The best high schoolers are unbelievably talented, and they sign the NILs. They go to college, and they, stay. It's great because it has changed. You've got the Cooper Lukenhouses who are actually signing professional contracts, but you wonder if he didn't live in Texas where NILs aren't legal. If he lived in a different state, would he have gone to college and just signed a big NIL? You never really know, and we won't know at this point. But yeah, everything has gone incredibly professional, and the the international recruiting. I don't know it that well, but I imagine it's because, and there's always programs that have been more international than others. There's always been these programs that, you'll see their cross, their track team, they'll have more international athletes than the other coaches, than the other programs. And at some point, it will just be up to, if there aren't any rules set in place, it's just going to come up to what the coach's morale is and what they believe is right. And if there's no, if there's incentives on performance based for these track programs, it's going to be hard because it's not like most coaches, obviously the best are making a great living. But if it's like, hey, look, I got to level up, and I can level up quick and really set myself up, just getting, Kenyan athletes, they're going to do better probably right off the jump than the Americans, who will maybe need some more time to develop. And maybe you're right.
It would be
They're older. They could be older. It's just the birthdays aren't as official in Kenya and Ethiopia. Everybody's born on January 1st. And and you just don't really know, but it's a wild time to be in the NCAA. And I'm sure there will be some rules passed down eventually, but we're in this,
right
like,
now. It's
right
the
now we're
Wild
in the gray
West.
area, and it's the Wild West, and you can kind of get away with and doing whatever.
I would be the worst college coach on the planet. I really couldn't do it. I think I would get fired immediately. First of all, your livelihood rests on people that are 17 to 22 or 23, whatever, if people take a fifth year. That's a lot of pressure on these kids. I don't think I have what it takes. I don't think I would have what it takes. I think I would say the wrong thing.
You think you think you'd kind of be a hard at? Like, what is it that you think it'd be tough for you to not yell at, not berate these children?
No, I just think it would be tough for me. I think it would be tough for me. I think it would, yeah, I think it would be tough for me to like have the right have the right environment. Like I know that like culture does come from the top down, but it also comes from the team back to the coach. I like I just don't think that I have the fortitude to have my livelihood rest on their shoulders. I think I would. I'm not going to cry if I flip over the handlebars, but I think I'm going to cry every night if I'm a college coach.
Yeah, you're setting up
Yeah.
you're setting up some time trials in Kenya.
Yeah.
You're like, these Americans don't know how to create a good culture, and they're not really serious. My livelihood's depending on them. You know who knows how to run hard? The Africans. I need a bad.
Yeah, that would just be really hard. That would be a very hard job.
It would be, and it's tough to. I think, I think the culture does create like you. It's a back and forth, right? Of the coach kind of creating a culture, but also having the confidence to step back enough and say like trusting the team to create their own culture. And so it's a bit of a give and take. But I would imagine the recruiting is tough. Like, how do you decide whether or not a 17-year-old, 18-year-old high school senior is going to pan out or not? How it's got to be a pretty tough position to be in.
For
And
sure.
when you're in these big programs, like we've talked about, when you're successful, the recruiting does itself. That success is the recruiting. People want to come to the programs that are successful and do well. So it's easier to recruit for the big schools, but these small schools that don't get as much attention, you got to go out and you got to knock on some doors, make some phone calls and say like, and really sell it. Why should you come to my school over the big schools? You can go anywhere, but like, I think you should come with me and put your trust in me. That's the tough thing. That I would imagine recruiting is really tough. And also it's like, where do you put which athletes are you going to put all your hopes into and be like, this is the guy, I think we can get him and I think he's going to pan out. So it is really tough. And I'm sure that the coaches are under an immense amount of pressure, especially like, let's say you're a coach who's trying to do what you think is the right thing. And it's like, yes, I can get a couple of international athletes, but I want to develop American talent and I want to get these young guys and women who I think can be great under the right circumstances. And I want to develop and bring the American running to the next level. And then you've got maybe an athletic director who's like, we don't really give a shit. Like, I want to see performance. I want to see winning, right? I don't love running like you. I'm an athletic director who's also feeling pressure from the head of the school board, the boosters, and all this stuff. Like, look, I get what you're doing with you got a backbone and you think you want to make like the American running what it could be, but I got bosses too, and I want to see some winning. So you're gonna have to get on a flight. I got you a flight to Kenya in the morning. And you're going to go get some of these guys who are going to do this cross country race. Okay. So there is so much going on that it's not as simple as like, hey, just like, don't do these, whatever we consider shady, like recruiting tactics of getting African athletes, but it's a much bigger conversation to be had. And, I hope that it gets attention and things. It's not something that goes on for, years and years and years, but you really never know.
You never know. And I don't really know. I totally understand the desire to pay college athletes. I mean, like if you think about our college experience versus a regular college student, it's not the same. Like you have a lot, it's a very privileged position to get your school paid for and, rep your school and get to travel and do all of these great things. And, that's great. I understand like it is an above and beyond expectation on athletes, especially in these revenue generating sports. But I don't know. I'm still even just grappling with the premise of a school paying money like for every athlete. Like I'm hearing what some of these kids are getting paid, like just from the school, and it is like I'm still in the shock and awe of it. Like I haven't moved on to a solution. Like I can't think of a solution because I'm still just beside myself that this is happening. Do you have any solutions?
I actually kind of forgot that I was just thinking about NILs. So in addition to NIL money, the schools will pay the athletes. These athletes are making good money.
Yeah.
And I do think athletes should should be paid. It's kind of a bizarre situation in the sense it's like, how as a high schooler do you decide, like how much you should be paid? It's one thing when I'm thinking about like the Johnny Manziel in Texas A&M football, and they had said that, and he's not getting paid by Texas A&M. There's no NILs at this point, but he's bringing in like $800 million through the football like for Texas A&M through A&M football. Those are and he's not getting a dime of that. And that's when you're like, that's wrong. That's
Right.
one of those things where this is absolutely not right, that someone like that isn't getting paid. But how do you decide on the dollar that he should be getting? And it's the same thing with track and field. It's like, and now these coaches have to be, now that they're not just recruiting, they're fighting to, this is how much money we should get. This is how much money the track team needs if we want to recruit the best teams in the country. And that's a whole, now it's becomes a money game. Right now it becomes which schools have the most money, which schools can buy the best athletes. It's I don't see, it's just going to be one of the, it's like all issues. It's like a pendulum, right? Like you got to go, the pendulum swinging the other way where athletes are going to get paid. And there's going to be a period where it's like, yeah, this doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we're just in it. You got to find the right line. And you often do that by stepping over the line and experimenting. So I don't have a solution, but I trust that in time it will get worked out.
Definitely.
So before we go on, we should talk about the upcoming Chicago Marathon.
Yep. We have Chicago and we have Athlos this coming weekend.
We've got Chicago, we've got Athlos. But before we do that, we have a new sponsor in the mix.
Yes, we do.
We are in the big leagues right now before we get shut down by Trump, but we got a new sponsor, the Wahoo Kicker Run Treadmill. Okay. Now, have you run on one of these treadmills, Aisha?
Not yet. I kind of can't wait. You've run on them.
I've got my feet on one at one of the marathon expos. So
tell me, what am I missing?
You're missing they're really stepping out of the box with this one. There's this thing, it's called dynamic pacing, where you're not setting the pace with buttons and you're not, ramping up in that way. But it's all by how fast you're running and your gait and your stride. So it's when you're naturally picking up the pace, it will pick up the pace for you.
That's so cool.
It's very interesting. And it's smooth. It feels really good while you're on it. It takes since it's so new, you're like, oh, how does that really work? I don't know how, I can't imagine that. But you pick it up in about 5 seconds once you get on it. I think Cole Hawker uses it. He likes it. So the champs use it. People like it.
People love it. I think that's one of the most difficult things about running on a treadmill is when you're out for a run, your pace is changing, your efforts changing all the time. I feel like that's kind of inherently what makes treadmill running hard, is like you're not used to just running one pace for an entire run. Like you're used to the variation. Yeah. So I think it makes sense.
Oh, it really does make sense. And it's got, it simulates the outdoor terrain. So you can choose like which terrain you want to run on, all that different stuff. So it's really cool. Yeah. It's really cool. So
do we have like a deal for our listeners?
We've got so wahoofitness.com, right? Now, if you want to, if you're interested in this, at checkout, you can use CITIUS and you get a $320 discount, you get the Wahoo Kicker Headwind fan. You get that for free, Aisha.
What?
You're gonna get it for free.
I'll
give it to you for free. When you use code CITIUS at checkout. And the Headwind fin, you're gonna love this. Okay, it's just like the treadmill in that it changes the speed of the fan depending on how hard you're running. I know.
Wait, what?
Yep. Yeah, they're making they're shaking up the game. They're making A lot of changes. So Wahoo Fitness, that's wahoofitness.com. Like Yahoo, but with a W. Okay. You got it. It's
We got it.
It's spelled just like it sounds. So yeah, really cool. I imagine you'll get your hands on one of these treadmills soon. I don't know if they'll ship it directly to Boulder.
Put it in my garage.
Put it in your garage. Hopefully the bear doesn't rip it to shreds.
The bear's on there just like getting so unbelievably fit. He's simulating knocking over trash cans. He's
the
doing
bear
this
is
whole
the bear's
thing.
like, is this dynamic pacing? He's like, there's no buttons on here. This is crazy.
How's the headwind changing? This feels amazing.
He's like, yeah. He's like, I cannot believe I got the Wahoo headwind fan for free with code CITIUS. It's just fantastic. So yeah, thank you, Wahoo. Happy to have you as a sponsor. Great stuff. Check it out.
Excellent work.
Now, why don't you give me what you're excited for with Athlos?
Okay, Athlos this year is doing a long jump competition in Times Square, which is very cool.
That's actually really cool.
It's very cool. That's happening on the 9th, so the day before. I was actually at Athlos last year with CITIUS. It was so fun. Definitely felt bigger. Like it felt more like a night of entertainment in kind of a new way. So outside of the racing, Sierra is performing. Last year, Megan Thee Stallion performed. So everybody was really excited about that. She was great. I'm sure that will be fun. The 800 is going to be really good. It will be Keely's racing, Mary Mora's racing, Natoya Gould's racing, Georgia Bell's racing the 800 as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
the world final.
8 is stacked. The 8 is a world final, and then the 15 is great too. Faith's racing, Nikki's racing, Jess Hull's racing.
What?
Yeah, Gudoff's racing, our girl, Susan and Jory Sanders. I mean, it's stacked. It's stacked.
Wow, they did a great job. They recruited.
They recruited. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And what I loved last year is, and we were saying this about Grand Slam, and unfortunately it didn't totally follow through, but what was very special about Athlos is how well the athletes were treated and how much excitement and joy was like emanating from everyone. Like I think in track you're used to kind of being kind of not feeling like as premier of an experience when you're an athlete. It's like you're paid to do this. It's awesome. You get to fly around the world, especially when you're in these European Diamond Leagues. It feels really exciting, but there's a lot of like shit to wade through until you get to the very top, most exciting situations. And even some of the best meets in the world like aren't the best atmosphere. And Athlos created this like super hype. They had like true celebrities in, sort of these courtside seats essentially, and had like a lot of fanfare for the athletes. The women were all in a great hotel and had all of these like external sponsors, really celebrating their performances. So I expect this year is going to be just as great, if not better. And it felt like a very premium product. Like if you were even like a light touch of a track fan, or you don't even really need to be a track fan. It's like a very accessible entry point into watching the sport. It's like, oh, here, I've got a night of entertainment in New York, and it happens to feature some incredible women that are at the top of their game. But it felt like a very fun starter pack of like a very glitzy, glamorous track meet. So excited about that. I'm really happy it's back at Icon Stadium. So yeah, you can I think you can still get tickets. It's October 10th is the track meet, and then the 9th is the long jump in Times Square.
Is the is the Times Square jump, is it like mid-afternoon, or is it under the lights of Times Square?
Let's get a little more info. Okay, I'm on their website. Let's see.
No.
Okay, so it looks clearly the Times Square long jump is free.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have to buy tickets for that. One event, one field event, long jump. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. Figure it out on the internet.
Are they is it going to be are they going after fast times, or is it on the track side? Is Faith Kipyegon trying to do more Faith Kipyegon stuff, or is it like, we're just going to get out there, race, see how the cards play out?
Yeah, I think it's just more pure racing. The prize money is really big.
Yeah.
And they were paid the prize money last year. Prize money Athlos. I want to get this right because this is important.
I mean, you only get athletes of that caliber when the prize money's right, especially with how late the year's been. Nobody is going to be racing this late unless the dollar signs come out.
Okay, so here's the breakdown. To win, it's 60K. Second place is 25K. Third, 10. Then eighth, fifth, 8,000, 5,000, 2,500. If you break a world record, it's a $250,000 bonus, and they do a give back. So 10% of all the revenue generated from ticket sales, sponsorships, broadcasts, everything goes back to the athlete, which is very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And if you won gold in Paris, you got an extra 60K.
That's really cool. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Let's see, there's,
I mean, isn't that the same as World Championships prize money?
Yeah, I think it's just cool that a meet that's not affiliated with Diamond League or the circuit at all. It's just like is incentivizing medals in a big way. 60K is great money, and that's really cool. Is 1,500 the longest distance? Yeah.
Yeah, and the field sizes are small. I just looked it up, and World Championships prize money is 70K to win, 35K for second, 22,000 for third. So very similar. I mean, like, what a reason to hang on and race after World Championships.
Oh, for sure. There's no reason why you wouldn't turn it down. I mean, it's like Fifth Ave in the way where it's just like, okay, this is for fun. The money's great. You're not going out there to, you're not putting too much pressure on yourself to go out there and deliver these unbelievable performances. If they come, they come, and great.
And you're going to be paid.
And you're going to be paid, and it's for fun. It's like, it's just if the atmosphere is like you're saying, fun for the fans, fun for them to come out, be treated like superstars and be paid like it, and a really cool event. So hopefully it's one of these things that sticks around for a while and can really grow some roots and stick around.
For sure. And then, so unfortunately, they're both the same. Chicago Marathon and Athlos are both the same weekend. And you're going to be in Chicago. I saw that your event with Allie Feller of Allie on the Run sold out. You're just a celeb, Eric. How does that feel?
I'm nervous we haven't done I've done some speaking stuff, but the live show, when Allie texted me and was like, hey, actually, she had sent me a text asking like what my Chicago plans were, and then she was talking about hers, and she had said she hadn't had a guest, and I didn't like say anything regarding that, and then she texted me back later and was like, "Hey, so when I said I didn't have a guest, I was like hoping you would interject and say I'd love to do your show," and I was like, "What? I don't." But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Sold out. I think I'm going to bring Mac as my +1, and there'll be a really fun way to kick off kick off Chicago Marathon weekend. Allie has got, her podcast is the big,
It's
she's the
huge.
top dog in the game, and it'll be really fun to go out. Do you remember when we did the indoor marathon
Yes.
at New Balance, and she had done a live show there, and there was this, there was a line outside the track, and at first I thought it was a line of fans to get into the New Balance indoor marathon relay, and they're like, no,
it's Sally.
I'm like, okay, now I'm getting really nervous for my leg. And it was a huge throng of fans for Allie. So it's we all love Allie. She's the best. So
she's the best. She's the absolute best.
She's the best. Yeah. So I can't wait to do her live show.
I think it's so fun how she's created this community that's, I think she has such a special way of like bringing people out of their shell. Like she's so disarming and fun and funny and easy to talk to that I think it's been really special to see her sort of amplify people, even that are maybe a little bit more introverted. I feel like her podcast, you really get a sense of who people are, and it's really difficult. Like it's not easy to create that space, and she's done it so beautifully. And then it just brings everyone in. She's so engaging and so fun, and just like a wonderful person, like outside of the podcast as well. Like she's the best. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, hopefully she can bring me out of my shell.
Yeah.
I just absolutely freeze up on stage.
I just lock your knees out and faint.
I bomb so hard. I'm like, first off, we were talking about it. We got to get our live show going so that we can perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival next year.
The text thread of this podcast is the two of us and Mac and Chris. And every once in a while I pick up my phone and I'm like, these guys have lost their dang minds. And I love it. It's so funny. Yeah, we got to get it together. We're ready. We're ready to take the show on the road.
We'll take it onto the road all the way to the Middle East. The Chicago's shaping up to be, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot. Obviously, we've got our boy Connor Mance, who's, he's stated he's going for that American record. With how he's looked, with every time he gets out there, races, it's like he smashes it. So I really think it is something that I think he's gonna do it. I think he absolutely can get this American record.
2:05:38 is the American record.
Yeah, 2:05 mid, something like that. Stood for I don't know what year it was set, but it's been around. Yeah, it's been around for a while. It's one of these records that has stood the test of time for a bit. So, but I think it seems like he's the guy to do it. Races. You gotta love the way he races. Like every single time he's out there, he's just going for it, right? Like he in his mind, he's like, yeah, I want to get the American record, but I also I want to win the race. It's the guy that races to win, and when you race to win, the times naturally will come. So he's fun. He's the great American hope in terms of the marathon distance, and I can't wait to watch him.
It is, I think, special to see someone taking these big swings. We haven't had anyone racing to win in these major marathons in a while. And that's the way we've watched him take these swings and go for it and hang on and be almost there. And the more often you do that, the more often you expose your legs, you expose your body to that sort of pain, right? Like you'll get there. It's just one time it will click, but throwing yourself in the deep end over and over and over again, like one time you'll swim. And I hope it's this weekend.
And I think that they were we did a CITIUS, a Zoom meeting because Chris won't be there. So Chris won't be there. And so we have Paul Hoff Mahoney steering at the helm of the ship the live stream and the pre-race show and those type of things. But Chris, since he's not there, I think he was like, okay, I'm feeling out of control. We did like a Chicago Zoom meeting. I'm like, we're doing we got a meeting. Okay, sure. But he had said that, I think this might be a world record attempt, by Jacob Kiplimo from Uganda. And, I believe it's John Career.
Really? I love that.
Which would be, I mean, this is where, Kelvin Kiptum set the world record. Was it 22 or 23?
23.
23. Yeah. So, I mean, this is, it's, world record fast course, which
it is very fast.
Very fast.
And the men's world record is 2 flat 35.
They have their work cut out for them. Which is also a very interesting, let's say they are actually going for it, then if you're Connor Mantz could be in a tough position where it's like, look, I mean, I really want this American record, right? And I believe I'm fit enough to do it, but is going out with these guys the way to get that? And I you would almost imagine, no, it's like you probably need to run a more conservative race if these guys are going to go out in 60 flat to try and get like a world record. If you're Connor Mantz, you might be, I don't know what obviously these world majors are so deep in terms of talent that I would assume there are guys to run with, but at the same time, it's also unpredictable in the sense where there might not be. It might be completely strung out at some point, and you might be in no man's land for a lot of running if you're Connor Mantz or any of the other top guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
It will be interesting to see. Yeah, does he take a restrained approach and run his ideal splits, or does he continue the way he's been racing? I'm not sure what's the right move, because also there aren't going to be that many people wanting to run 204, right? Like that's,
Yeah.
It's either I want to win the race, or there's usually a pack that, I want to run sub 210, right? Like there's not, there is kind of a gap in that space.
For sure. Who are the top Americans on the women's side?
I am pulling it up. My fingers are typing very fast.
I know. I can hear them clacking away.
You can hear it? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. 2025. I don't know. I'm pulling it up. Yeah. Sorry. I need to find the CITIUS thing. My brain is losing its power.
Do you think you're going to need to take a nap before? Do you have time? Do you even have time to nap? Like, are you going to go right from here to the bike to the birthday party?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just stringing it together. I need another beekeeper.
Yeah, you need another beekeeper. Code CITIUS25 at Amazon and beekeepercoffee.com. Tracktown Honey. You're going to want to get this stuff. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Okay, here's the women's elite field. We have on the American side, Natasha Rogers, 223.51. Lindsay Flanagan, 223.31. I'm saying their personal bests. We have Gabby Rooker, Dakota Popane, Aubrey Frenthaway, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing, Maggie Montoya, and Emily Venter's debut.
Okay. Solid lineup right there.
Very solid lineup.
Who are the top non-Americans? We've
got some pretty fast Ethiopians in Merkatu Alemu, 216.34, fastest in the field. Howie Fesa, 217 flat. Irene Cheptai from Kenya, 217.51. Two more super fast sub 220 Ethiopians. Mary Ngugi Cooper, who we've seen race a lot. She's Kenyan, 220 PR. And then Callie Thackeray is a 221 PR. And that's sort of like the top chunk of fastest times.
Yeah. it's really cool that Chicago is now becoming a place where people are going to run fast. It's like
Right,
I
right.
feel like Berlin used to be the standard. You want to break the marathon world record, you go to Berlin. But I would love it if it was here in America and in Chicago. That would be great for them, obviously, but really fun for us. I'm feeling some American pride being like, no, you come here to run
And you run
fast.
fast. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
don't need to go to Valencia. You don't need to go to Berlin. Just go to
Go,
Chicago.
go to the Windy City. They're
Go
like,
to the
I
Windy
don't know.
City.
They're
Yeah,
like,
that doesn't
why
sound very
would
fast.
go to
Yeah.
the hill? Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's not like its name.
Chicago is a great spectator marathon. I don't know if you've been out there
I've never been to
um,
Chicago.
ever.
I've never ever been to Chicago.
Your body has not been in Chicago, the city.
Um, I've flown in there and I think done layovers in Chicago, but I myself
Oh,
personally have never gone to
oh, you're
Chicago.
gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Chicago's awesome. It's a great city. I
It
think
seems like
with
it.
how you, with your
Uh-huh.
reaction to Philly, I think you're gonna love Chicago.
Okay,
You're gonna have a
great.
great time. So what makes this a great spectator marathon is the racers do this big loop, and you can, if you are inside the loop, you can get on a bike and see athletes so frequently. I've gone to Chicago and cheered on Emma Bates, cheered on Dom Scott. It is so fun. It is there's great atmosphere. Everybody comes out. Um, all over Chicago to cheer on the runners. It's a great day. It's a great major. It's very, very, very fun. And it's fast. The danger is it can sometimes be hot um,
Yeah.
in that muggy way of
Mm.
thick
Humid.
air, humidity. Yeah, humidity.
Yeah.
But the course is fast. Like it's flat. It's there's not a ton of turns. It's a great course.
But you have to be on a bike. Well, I mean, that's taken out for me because I'll be locked in at a
On the
pizza
mic.
shop on the mic doing a live stream, walking polythrows through marathons.
Great. Polythros is going to get a marathon education.
Well, polythrows it's going to be, remember when he took over the mic for Grand Slam and everyone was
He
like,
was excellent.
you're like, well, yeah, you're fantastic at this. And
We basically fired Chris in the moment.
yeah, Chris was like, Chris was watching it and he was like, fuck, this guy he's like, well, I have to fire him. I have to
I'm going to
fire
lose
his
my
ass.
job.
I'm
Yeah,
going to lose my
I am.
job.
This is a threat.
Yeah.
Polythros is a threat. No, Polly is excellent, and I am sure will be so prepared for this. I'm sure he's studying. I'm sure he's watching tape.
Mhm.
It's going to be great. I definitely will be muting the TV and listening to your commentary.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Should we take some voicemails?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did we have any fun ones this week?
I haven't listened to them.
You
I
haven't
was
listened to them
pretty
either.
busy. No, none of us have listened to these voicemails. I had a really busy week at work, and then I've had the boys in town. What am I
It's
supposed to
okay.
do about
It's okay.
it?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
It wasn't accusatory.
Yeah, I'm getting defensive.
I know. Easy. Easy, girl.
Easy. Okay, here we go. Speaking of Chicago Marathon, this one is titled Chicago Marathon.
Hi, Eric and Aisha. My name's Paul.
Oh.
I'm a throws analyst
Speak of
with
the
a
devil.
major track media company here in the U.S., but in 2 weeks, my boss has another wedding because all he ever does is go to weddings, and I'm going to have to
That's right.
do some coverage of the Chicago Marathon, and I know nothing about marathons, and I'm really scared. Can you guys just give me some words of advice to help me handle covering the Chicago Marathon? I don't know why my boss is making me do this. It's so scary. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye. Love you.
That is so cute. I'm
He's
glad
cute.
I hadn't listened to that. Okay, so Polly, you're going to be great. I think what could be helpful is to go back and watch the last 10K of a major marathon. at some point. Watch any marathon. Pick. Maybe watch last year's Chicago. Watch some tape just to see what it looks like. See what the coverage. See what the coverage looks like. I love to read the CITIUS Mag preview. See what's going on. I like to do a little bit of a deep dive on people's social media. Do a little bit of stalking. See what the folks are saying. If any of the major players have done any recent podcasts, I like to listen to those. Just to get a little prepped, see what's going on.
You do you're even doing the Instagram deep dive. That's some serious homework right there. Really, Paulie's good at, he's a journal, like he's got the on-air personality, does a good job filling in space, and just talking. Once you, because what Chris does well is there's knowing all of these athletes, what they've done recently can be tough, especially like when you're on air trying to talk and you're like, once you hit record, right? Once the camera's on you, you're like, I don't know what to say sometimes. And then, but like Chris does a good job, Paulie does a good job, kind of like knowing the history of the athletes, what they've done recently, how they might look in the build up to this race, which can be tough, especially in the marathon where there's so many athletes from all different countries who are just running so well right now. It can be tough to just kind of like memorize all their numbers and all what they've done recently, but those guys are good at that.
You can pull up, just have a bunch of tabs open with everybody's World Athletics profile and their stats.
Yeah, actually, that's what I did. I realized because Chris has got his laptop for everything.
Yes.
And you should see him. I was watching him in Tokyo during one of these post-race shows. He's doing a great job talking, and he's like, he doesn't need to stop and think too much about what he's going to say. But while he's talking, he's also furiously typing on his laptop, looking up stats on the World Athletics, also like texting. Like he'll be like shooting off messages, and you're like, you got a lot going on over here. It is really impressive.
Like, there's a tumbleweed going through my mind.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like thinking so hard on what I want to say next. And I'm like, I don't know. And then like Chris will take what I wanted to say, and I'm like, okay, well now I'm absolutely screwed.
This is why we can't do interviews for people. Like we don't have any questions. We don't have any good questions to ask.
Well, that's why I didn't like when Chris would ask me, hey, do you want to come interview this person? And I would be like, dude, I'm not prepared for this person. This is a big athlete, right? This is an interview that I would love to like sit down and think up some great questions and like really come correct and not just, show up with 15 minutes notice and ask like some of the dumbest things you've ever heard.
Just feeling like a real idiot.
Yeah. And I'm like, Chris, you're setting me up for failure on this interview here.
Okay. Here's another voicemail.
Hi guys. I'm calling to follow up from the caller that you had that was asking about the underpants under the short situation. I'm wondering what the protocol is for men in half tights or speed suits. Because there doesn't seem to be a lot of guidance there. I don't know if anyone has ever seen race photos of Albacali, but I think the fellas need some help. Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.
Was she saying the same thing as you?
Yeah. Too much topography.
Too much penis going around.
So what's the protocol? Tell me what. I mean, I'm sure you raced in split shorts, but you probably wore half tits at some point. So what did the fellas need to know? I was
mostly split shorts, did half tights every now and then, had never done the speed suit. But look, because also like you bring up a good point with underwear under your underwear under the.
I'm team underwear.
You're team underwear. You were team underwear for yourself. You were also team underwear for guys in half tights. I think though, when you're wearing the half tights, and if you are going to be wearing boxers or tight underwear underneath it, because you want things cinched up, you want things not flopping around. You don't want topography, as you keep calling it. You want it a bit more contained.
Sport mode.
So you want sport mode for the junk. But now that's getting restrictive. Now it's like, okay, you're feeling like, okay, I can't stride it. There's a bit of tension with all this underwear. I'm wearing underwear, and now I got half tights, really, really tying everything together. And now I can't stretch it. Now I can't stretch the legs out as much. So I think that would be why I would not do that. I understand what you're saying, right? From an aesthetic point of view. Briefs?
I don't really understand men's underwear. I'm going to be really honest.
I'm like, briefs?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? No, you wouldn't want to do briefs. God, no, you wouldn't want to do briefs. It seems really uncomfortable. And I'm like, it just wouldn't.
Hard no.
It wouldn't work. Yeah, no, it's too constrictive. But they don't make, or the half tights I was running in, you would think they could make kind of like they do with the shorts, bra. like a netting or something. If you want to control, if you want topography control.
I think we just came up with an idea for our developers. There was a
pair of the Nike half, and I can only speak on the Nike stuff because that's all I would run in. But there was a pair of Nike half tights that was unbelievably comfortable, and there were half tights that had that kind of that support, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
But the racing half tights didn't have that, and it kind of was uncomfortable. It didn't make really any sense to me. I'm like, why not? I'm like, these half tights were great. Let's get those in racing, in the racing style.
I think this is a great idea. If you're a developer of kits listening to this, roll that in.
Actually, we did remember. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
Because at one point we had, I don't want to say shit on, but I think I was kind of roasting, being a bit hard on the Prefontaine uniforms. And I thought they could have
done more. We thought they could have done more.
Like, I was just talking, right? That's what I do. And so I was saying a lot of shit. And then, and we had actually, the creator of those reached out to us and was like, "Hey, look, I'm actually a big fan of it." He wasn't being, he wasn't yelling at us or upset. He was just kind of laughing and saying
he wasn't trying to take us off the air.
He wasn't trying to take us off the air. But I actually met him in Tokyo. He was there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And he was like, "It's me." He's like, and I'm here to kill you. So if you're listening, think about the netting in the half tights, maybe
for the boys.
Well, and also I think it's mostly the boys would help, but the women aren't crazy about all the junk and topography. They don't want to see El Bacali's fucking hog. So
they had to take those Under Armour kits, those Under Armour speed suits off the market. It was too much.
The fog hog. Look, that is such good. For Adam Fogg was getting such publicity for how big his dick looked in the Under Armour speed suit. It's like pretty good public. If you're Adam Fogg, you're like, this is great.
This is great. Yeah.
If you're Under Armour, you could be like, all right, they're kind of roasting us for the kits. They're not crazy about them. They were interesting, right? The color, and it wasn't a flattering color in my opinion.
No. It made everyone look sickly.
Yeah. There's just something about the very light gray. And
on an
Adam's
indoor track.
on an indoor track. Adam he's a British mate, and he's pale and look at that's coming from a guy just like you, bud. So in the dead of winter, you haven't seen the sun that much. On the indoor track,
you're at BU in the fluorescent lights.
The fluorescent lights of BU.
All of that was overlooked.
Well, his penis came to play.
We weren't looking at the skin.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's. I mean, I guess that's why he definitely put that on. He's like, I look good as shit. I like this.
Okay, here's our last voicemail.
Hey, Eric and Aisha, it's Will from Colorado. I'm here sitting in a parking lot of traffic on I-25 or I-70. I'm probably just going to get out and do some strides, kill some time. I got a hot take on, maybe not so hot take, on the enhanced games. Just listen to y'all's talking about Fred Curley. I think it's simple if track and field globally, World Athletics doesn't want to lose athletes to the enhanced games. It's simple. We got to give the power to the athletes, give the money to the athletes. We got to make those contracts public. Call back to a previous pod where we're talking about how cagey and behind the scenes and under the table and secret hush everybody's got to be with what a good price is, how much money do we deserve. It's so simple. These companies have the money. The big brands have the money to pay athletes fairly, give them what they deserve, make contracts public so the athletes have the power to make the decisions, to bargain for what they are worth. And the enhanced games would be shut down instantly. There would be no competition. There'd be no more poaching, no more taking advantage of people in tough situations because the tough situations would be gone. The good athletes would get the money they need and would not be tempted by any of this other garbage out there that's coming up. Anyway, love you.
Thanks, Will from Colorado.
Well, I mean, yeah, he is right. He's right.
He's right.
He's right. That the shoe companies, just like not USADA, but like USATF and all the governing bodies are like, we really hope this is a flash in the pan, because they will force their hand at some to pay them more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that money is going to trickle down. It probably wouldn't trickle down. Actually, it would maybe a little bit, but it's like, okay, the shoe companies aren't afraid of losing the smaller athletes,
right? Because
also the enhanced games probably don't want the smaller athletes. So it's the superstars, the in-demand people. If enhanced games is one of these things that they're throwing big money around and it's here to stay, they will have to pay the athletes more. But I'm sure that they won't pay them. The shoe companies aren't going to change anything yet, right? They're going to be like, look, we're going to wait this out. We're going to see how the first year goes, and then maybe even then we'll still wait out. But like when Fred Curley signs, that's got their attention. They're like, okay, shit, this is big. They didn't get some small time player, right? They got a 2-time Olympic medalist, one of the best known sprinters in the game. Fred Curley was one of the main players in the show Sprint on
the
Netflix
show.
It's like, okay, this is legit, and we have to we're going to start thinking about it. We're going to hold steady right now. But I mean, they do to Will from Colorado's point. These big shoe companies do have the money, but at the same, it's one of these things. It's like they just nobody's forced their hand enough because they hold all the power. So maybe it does take something like the enhanced games to come in and have these shoe companies really sit down, reevaluate the budget and be like, this is actually what we're willing to go up to.
Right. And it could sort of change the model of sponsorship. As you said, they're different companies have different strategies of how they want to spend their money. Some companies want to just blanket fields of having the most people in their product. Some companies want to select a few superstars and pay them handsomely. Some, want to validate their product. Some want to go more the influencer route. Like, everybody has a different strategy. But if you start losing superstars like a Fred Curley, if someone else goes in that direction, then it does make you stop and think of, like, all right, we have these generational talents. We have these people that their profile has been built up. They are ambassadors for our sport. How do we make sure this doesn't happen in the future? So I do think this could be a moment of clarity of, hey, maybe NDAs are not the best for the athletes. If we're going to start, if these other, Athlos is a great example. The prize money is public. This is what we are paying people. Like, if you are an Olympic gold medalist and you're an Athlos and you've raced Athlos, you are going to win 60 grand. Like, there are public incentives, and that gives you a bit of information of, like, okay, what is a number that makes someone attracted to race somewhere? And that public display of here is the reward just makes everything clearer. If an Enhanced Games is coming out and saying, hey, we're going to pay you $1 million to break the world record if you break the world record, like, this is a clear model that people are moving toward transparency and away from shady, we're not so sure, under the table. Not that these deals are shady, like, they're all, above board and there's contracts being signed, but people are moving toward the transparent, fixed rewards of an exchange of time for money. And that, like, at the end of the day, that's what this is. And we do need to make sure that this doesn't keep happening, because it sucks.
I wonder what their media plan is. I wonder if we're gonna get the call to do the mix zone and the influencer lounge, the content creator zone at the Enhanced Games.
And it's me just berating everyone.
Yeah, and it's like, but even the content creators need to be on gear. Like, there's not anybody who's clean involved in the Enhanced Games.
That would be hysterical.
Just a roided up Aisha and Eric in the mix zone. Out of control. Angry. You're just so angry. You're just yelling at athletes.
Hey.
Yeah. We're fresh off the Riyadh Comedy Festival into the Enhanced Games content creator zone, and you're still on your high horse. But you're still on your high horse yelling at people. They're like, you guys just came from Riyadh Comedy Festival, and you're gonna have the nerve to tell me I shouldn't be in the Enhanced Games.
Oh my God. Well, this is fun. We'd like some more voicemails. Those we're really getting great questions, great messages, great food for thought. You can call us at 856-279-0080.
Nice
Leave
job.
us a voicemail. We'd love to play it on air and answer questions or react to great ideas, like Will from Colorado.
Yeah. Anything you got? I'm remembering our guy who was a little bit drunk and talking about his ex, and I'm wondering how he's doing.
Yeah,
if you're listening to this, please give us a call. We'd love to hear a little bit of an update. But yeah, fire in your questions. Always a fun time. Love getting to interact with you guys. And Aisha, you got a big day ahead of you.
I got a big day.
So good luck on the ride. Let's no more crashes.
No more crashes.
And tell everyone I say hi, and have a fantastic birthday party.
Thank you. Have a great week. Hopefully I'll see you next week after Chicago.
Yeah, the show goes on, so we'll have another episode out. We'll just figure out what day we want to do it.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.